The ocean is a blue and watery universe, home to extraordinary biodiversity that is the origin of life and food. But an invisible phenomenon is destroying ocean habitats, wiping out a huge quantity of sea life and threatening our future. Ghost fishing is caused by the lost or abandoned nets that catch on rock formations on the sea floor or float through the water, entrapping fish and sea life, completely out of control. Every year, these nets silently kill 100,000 mammals, 1 million seabirds, and an enormous quantity of marketable fish. Once in the water, the ghost nets fish for a long time since they are made of materials that never break down, basically plastic. It is estimated that 640,000 tons of these nets are abandoned at sea every year, a significant percentage of all the trash that is dumped in the world's seas and oceans. Ghost nets can destroy seabeds, be dangerous for divers, interfere with navigation, and leave toxic plastic microfragments that are ingested by the fish we eat, entering the food webs. The situation is serious. Every year, fishing boats lose a small percentage of the nets from their equipment. There are 22,000 commercial fishing boats in our seas. In order to understand the extent of the problem, Project Ghost studies what is happening on the sea floor, scanning a valuable area of the upper Adriatic Sea, Les Tenues. Biodiversity rules in Les Tenues. Rocky formations that can be compared to coral reefs are home to more than 700 animal species. 12 of them are protected, and 97 are open to commercial fishing. In the Gulf of Venice alone, there are more than 3,000 underwater rocky habitats, known as tenues, that allow for the reproduction of myriad sea creatures. Ghost estimates that more than half of the Venetian coastal waters are infested with ghost nets. On the upper Adriatic seabeds alone, there may be more than 200 tons of abandoned fishing nets, and there are many more endangered habitats in Italy. An enormous amount of plastic is poisoning our seas, and the situation is destined to get worse. Unless we do something now. And here's the good news: it doesn't take much. Fishing nets lost at sea, otherwise known as ghost nets, upset marine balance. They kill fish, aquatic birds, and mammals. And they poison the environment, spreading plastic everywhere in the oceans. But it is possible to eliminate these marine ghosts. First, we need to remove the existing nets. Project Ghost has defined effective procedures for safely and inexpensively eliminating them in a specific, practical, and repeatable protocol. We now know what kind of nets are entangled on the ocean floors in the upper Adriatic Sea and what kinds of problems they create for marine activities ranging from fishing to shellfish harvesting. However, cleaning up the ocean floor is complex and expensive. It's essential that we keep the problem under check through prevention. For example, there are nets that transmit radio waves and GPS systems for localizing them when they fall into the sea. One possible solution is to use biodegradable nets, even though they break down quickly and have to be replaced often. But in the long run, they are not a cost-effective solution because the natural materials they are constructed out of are expensive and they're not available in the region. The best and most efficient solution at the moment is to dispose of the fishing equipment properly when no longer needed. Lead weights and cork can be reused. Plastic can be regenerated and used to produce new nets, or clothing, stockings, rugs, or even skateboards. Recycling is worth it. But that means we'll have to convince anyone who has a net that cannot be reused anymore to bring it back to dry land so it can be recycled or reused. In order to do this, there is a need for equipped marinas and waste management companies that can transport special refuse. The problem is, Italy is not organized for collecting the nets. Waste collection centers are a cost for local public administration. However, if public administration were supported by environmental management organizations who collect unusable nets at low cost, and if there were specific investments made, a virtual cycle would be established that would contribute to cleaning up the seas. This process would benefit everyone: fishermen, administrators, environment managers, recycling companies. It would be good for the environment and for our food. GHOST has evaluated costs and benefits of each phase of the process, along with material flow of all components that enter into the process. If you care about the future of our seas, try and discover if the port nearest you has already built a collection point for used nets. All it takes are more ports filling up a garbage bin with 30 tons of fishing nets. A simple solution for a complex problem. Find out, because to clean our seas, we will need everyone's help.